Hello and welcome to today's training session for our ANZ Public Library Training Series. Our session today is Navigating EBSCO eBooks on the EBSCO host platform. My name is Nadia Davis and I'm the Manager for Customer Training Services in Oceania. By the end of today's session, you'll be able to read an ebook online, export chapters and pages, describe publisher permissions, check out and download an ebook to read offline, and locate help resources. Accessing EBSCO eBooks, reading an ebook online. So why might a patron want to use an ebook over, say, a print title? So these are some reasons that a user might decide to utilize an ebook. For convenience, they can be accessed anytime, anywhere, as long as you have internet and an internet browser. They are portable. You can carry a whole library of ebooks on your mobile device. They are easy to access and it's quick delivery. If they're available, you can read them then and there. Lots of different subjects and topics are usually available to explore as well. So a quick keyword search will pick up a title and that can be accessed very quickly directly on the platform. Now, in today's session, we do have a scenario. We have Tom. Tom is 12 and he's interested in manga. He wants to learn how to draw characters specifically. Manga is very popular in his area. It's school holidays, and all the print titles are currently checked out. An ebook might be just the option for Tom. Let's explore EBSCO eBooks to find a title for drawing manga. Now, I'm going to walk you through this scenario using slides, and then we'll do a live demonstration. So we're going to start by searching for an ebook. So Tom has visited the public library. He has logged into the OPAC. He's found EBSCO ebook platform and he's searching the EBSCO ebook database for the keyword of manga. Once he's entered his search, Tom is spoilt for choice after just a quick keyword search. So just a quick search on manga has found him 46 titles available on this topic. And we can see in my screenshot here, some of these are also for drawing manga. Now, Tom has reviewed his list and he's found an excellent ebook with step-by-step techniques. He really wants to learn to draw a manga-style dragon. So using the table of contents in the book's detailed record, he finds the perfect instruction guide. Tom wants to get started right away and decides to download the chapter for drawing manga dragons. And he does this by clicking on the download icon directly from the table of contents. That will open the download modal and allow him to download the chapter for drawing dragons. You'll notice here that there is something called publisher page limits. These are publisher permissions that allows the user to perform certain actions within a title, depending on the publisher allowance. In this case, the publisher has determined that he can download up to 100 pages at a time. Now, our chapter for dragon drawing is only 5 pages, so we're well within that limit. So he's going to go ahead and click on download to download that chapter. He can then save the PDF file to a USB stick. He could attach it to an email, or he could even print it at the library. Now, just a reminder, this is a publisher permission of 100 pages, so he can download up to 100 pages of the title in one session. Another thing that Tom noticed when he was reviewing the ebook platform is the bookmark icon. So he's realized that he can potentially save the ebook so that he can access it later. Now he's going to go ahead and click on the bookmark icon. When he does this, it has saved it for him temporarily. In order to save his items forever, he will need to create and sign into a free MyEBSCO account. MyEBSCO, once he's created an account and signed in, means that next time he logs back in, his ebook record will be available in the saved items. And he can then read that ebook online, download chapters, download the title to read offline, and more. He could also, with a MyEBSCO account, create projects. So if he wanted to save all of his manga titles as a project, he could do that using MyEBSCO account here. Once he's saved the record in MyEBSCO, he will navigate to Saved, and in the Records section, this is where he'll find that title. He's also then able to click on the title link to view the ebook and so on. Okay, so now we've looked at the steps that Tom has taken to access his title. We're now going to go ahead and perform a live demonstration of the process. So this is the EBSCO ebook platform, and I'm currently searching a subscription collection called the eBook Public Library Collection. Library collections can vary library to library. You might have perpetually owned titles alongside subscription. And we're going to do a quick keyword search here on manga. So now we have our search results, and we can then browse a list to find an ebook that's relevant. As you scroll through, you will notice in the subject areas what these titles will cover. You'll also be able to expand the abstract or blurb to read a little bit more about the title as well. We've got lots about how to draw manga. Okay, we're going to move to the next page down here. So we have pagination at the end. So there is 46 results, and I'm currently showing 10 per page, but I can change this up to 50 as well. Okay, so this is the title that Tom had selected earlier. Now, I do have an option here to access the ebook immediately, but we are going to have a look first of all by clicking the title link at the detailed record. So here I can now see information about the title. I have the option to download it to read offline, and I also have the option to read it online, which is what we're looking at today. If I scroll down this page a little bit, this is where I can view the table of contents. In the fantasy dropdown, this is where Tom has found the chapter for drawing dragons. We'll navigate back to this in just a moment. On the left-hand side, you'll notice that there are some permissions available here. This title has unlimited copies available. Here is that 100-page allowance. This is that publisher permission. I can also see that I can download the book to read offline as long as I have Thorium Reader. I can't, however, copy and paste any of the ebook. But down the bottom, I can also see some information around accessibility. So this title is available in EPUB 3, and it is accessible. It's actually had 100% pass by Daisy. If accessibility is important to you, you can also view the metadata around accessibility here as well. So we can see that it conforms to WCAG 2.0, level AA. We have the access mode, both textual and visual, and we have accessibility features including alternative text, reading order, structural navigation, table of contents, and we also have a link out to EBSCO's accessibility statement and the WCAG guidelines. I can also see some further information if I scroll through the detailed record, including the description, the authors, and further publication information. I can also see the subject areas and also the BISAC categories. Now, scrolling back up a little bit, we want to go into the chapter on dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and just click the chapter here. So dragon. This will actually take me to the online viewer. There we go, the online viewer, and I'm reading now the chapter here on dragons. So it takes me straight into that particular chapter, and I can obviously scroll through the title here as well. Now, if I wanted to download this chapter, I'll use a little download icon beside the chapter I want. Here it tells me it is 5 pages for the chapter on dragon. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on download. It's downloading this directly to my PC in PDF. And now I can print this out. I could save it to USB stick, or I could even attach it to an email and access it later when I get home. So Tom can very quickly get the information from the publication that he's interested in. If we go and try to download another chapter, you'll notice that the 5 pages has been removed from my page limit, and I have 8 pages for the Crazy Wizard chapter. Now that we're in the online viewer, I also wanted to point out a few other features. At the top of the screen, you'll see that saved bookmark icon to save the record to MyEBSCO. If we wanted to cite any area of a title, there is an option to copy the end text citation, and we support quite a few different styles in here. If you are using a bibliographic manager like Mendeley or Zotero or EndNote, you can export the citation in RIS format to the relevant platform, or you could select any of these other options as well. You can also share this, so he could generate a shareable link. He could also download the title. Again, here's the chapter option. There's also a full ebook option and metadata only. There's also the table of content navigation that we've just used. And if he was looking for something specific, he could also search within. Next to that, we have some accessibility features. So with the EPUB version of an ebook, I can adjust things like our font size, the character spacing, the word spacing, and also the line spacing. And for anyone that might have some vision impairments, we can also use the text-to-speech feature. Next to that, we also have our further accessibility support for more accessible content. So that is accessing the ebook online and also downloading our chapters. So Tom now has that title. He's printed it out and he can start drawing straight away. The next thing he decides that he wants to do is actually save the record. So that next time he either comes to the library or accesses the library from home, he can log into his account and he could then read the book. So he's noticed that there is a save icon. As soon as I click on the save icon, it will add it to the saved items. However, I'm not signed in yet. So in order to keep items forever, you do need to either create an account or sign into an existing one. So we're going to go up to MyEBSCO now. And for any new users, you will go to create an account and follow the prompts to log in. So if you already have a Google account, you can use your Google Gmail account for EBSCO by clicking continue with Google. Or if you'd like to continue with email, you can input your first name, email address, and a password, and consent to the collection of data. That will then create that account for you. If you already have an account, next time you come into this platform, you can then sign in. So that is now been signed in for me and I can see my name up in the top right. And so if I go into MyEBSCO, into the saved items, in the records, I can see my book is here. So next time I wanted to view it, I could go to the saved items, I could click on the ebook title link, and from here I can read the ebook online, I could download a chapter, or I could download the title. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do here as well is really customize my ebooks. So you'll notice here that we also have something called projects. Now, if I go back to saved, my saved records will appear here, but I'll have quite a few different records. I actually have 35 records saved in here, and that will include both academic journals and ebooks. So what I can do is I could add this to a project. Now, I have already got some projects in my list, so I'm going to save it to my EBSCO eBooks. If, however, you haven't got any projects, you can create a new project by providing a name, an optional due date, and an optional description. So in this case, we might call this one Manga eBooks. And that's going to automatically add that title into that project. So let's have a look at this. So in the MyEBSCO, click on projects. Here's my manga project, and here is my record. Okay, so moving back to my PowerPoint, just a couple of slides to work through as well. Publisher permissions, just to recap on these, you'll find them in the detailed record, and this will indicate what the publisher allows you to do with a specific title. So how many chapters, pages you can export to PDF, if you can download the title to read offline, and if you can copy and paste any part of the title. We also provide or have access to titles in EPUB or PDF. Sometimes a publisher will provide both. The title that we looked at today was actually the EPUB. This means that when we're reading the book in the viewer, there are no specific page numbers. EPUBs format and flow to your device. They are best for mobile viewing. They're the most accessible. They include text-to-speech and also the content remediation. PDF, on the other hand, does include page numbers. However, it doesn't format to your device like an EPUB will. So it is best for desktop or laptop viewing. It does include text-to-speech and it does include the content remediation. So again, if we are searching on the platform, we'll do a new search from here. And we just, again, typed in manga. In the access options for this title, we can see it's available in PDF and EPUB. So the only difference with this is if we go to PDF and we open up our viewer, it looks very similar. We will get the document loading here in just a moment. You'll see all the tools across the top here. You'll also see the text-to-speech and the content remediation, but it doesn't include the option for those accessible features around the text and font size and spacing and so on. But you still have your option to download your chapters as required. And you'll see that there are page numbers here as well. Just navigating back to that record. If we have a look at that same title in EPUB, in the viewer, you can see pretty much the same, except we include that accessibility feature and we don't have page numbers and we can't scroll through the whole text. We do need to use our page turner to navigate through. So that is EPUB versus our PDF and how they display in the online viewer. Okay, so now that we've looked at how to access and read an ebook online, we're now going to have a look at how to access an ebook and read the book offline. So for this scenario, we have Jane. Now, Jane works and studies part-time. She often stops by the public library to do some quiet study, and she at this term brings her own laptop with her. Jane commutes to work on the train and likes to be able to access ebooks without internet. This is also helpful for her because she's commuting between work, the library, home, and also other locations. So being able to download ebooks to read offline will help Jane with her studies while she's commuting or between locations. Now, before we start, to download an ebook to read offline, you will need to have a MyEBSCO account and third-party software, such as Thorium Reader, installed on your PC or laptop. So reading an ebook offline is optional. As I mentioned, you will require a MyEBSCO account and some third-party software for digital rights management protected titles. We support the third-party software called Thorium Reader, and it's a free download from the EDL Labs website. Library administrators can also disable download, so if download is not available, you won't see that option appearing in the download modal. In this case, you can see I have full ebook, but if download was not available, we wouldn't see the full ebook tab in that download modal. We would only see the option for chapters or metadata. Let's have a look now at the differences between, say, a DRM protected title and a DRM free. So there are DRM free titles available. What that means is that there is no digital rights management on these titles. In that case, everything is unlimited and available. So in the permissions, we would see unlimited copies, unlimited pages, download does not expire, and available copy and paste. In a DRM protected title, like we saw earlier, we would see certain number of copies, could be unlimited. We would also see a specific number of pages available for download, print, email, and save, and it would indicate whether we can download it, and if we can, that we would require some third-party software. So that's just a slight difference. So with a DRM-free title, when you find one, it will look like this in the publisher permissions, and when you go to download it, you won't require to sign into MyEBSCO because you don't need to be managing the DRM. You'll see just like this, PDF or EPUB. All you'll need to read those titles is just a PDF reader, such as Adobe Acrobat, or even your web browser. Now, another thing I wanted to mention here as well, if you are looking at different titles, these are some examples of publish permissions and download restrictions, and these are really for DRM protected titles. So on this side, we have a title with 3 copies available. The publisher has allowed up to 25 pages for download, print, email, and save, but the download is not available per the publisher. So it's a publisher restriction here, and there's no copy and paste available. In the middle section, we have our permissions. So this is unlimited copies available. 100 pages are allowed to be downloaded, printed, emailed, or saved, but we do require for download third-party software for Thorium Reader. And we can see copy and paste is available. Our third example is unlimited copies available, unavailable download, print, email, and save. And full ebook download is also unavailable per the library. So this is where the library has restricted download, and this is where the publisher has restricted download. So these are some messages that you might see on different titles depending on your library allowances. Now that we've talked a little bit about the background for downloading an ebook, let's have a look at this in a live demo. So I'm going to go to a new search on the ebook platform, and Jane is going to be searching for some titles on the topic of management. Now, really important with download, first of all, is that you're signed into MyEBSCO. Really important because MyEBSCO functions almost like a library card. So you're going to log in, which is like handing over your library card. Then you're going to download and check that title out to your account. Then you're going to open that title in your Thorium Reader, which is like taking the book home and putting it on your bookshelf. So that's sort of the workflow and analogy for reading offline. So these are my titles available for my very broad keyword search of management. So Jane will browse through here, find a title that's of interest to her. So we might have a look at this one here. I can see it is available through EPUB. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on the title. I always like to look at the detailed record to see any restrictions that might be available here. So we can see it's unlimited copies, 100 pages are allowed, and we can download it as long as we have Thorium Reader. Now, to download the title, I'm going to click on the download button. And because download is available, I have the full ebook tab appearing. Now in the drop down, my library allows me to select between 1 to 7 days for a loan. I'm going to go with the 7-day option. Under that, you'll see that there is something called a Thorium Reader passphrase. Now, the very first time that you go to download an EBSCO ebook, we would recommend to copy the passphrase. So you'll notice that mine says generate new. I have already used Thorium Reader, and I've registered a passphrase to my PC, to my device. And so I'm able to open the book without generating a new one each time. So I do it once, and that point forward on my same device, I can use that same passphrase. So what I'm going to do from here is simply click on download to download the file. So you'll see over here, it's just downloaded. I'm going to go and open that file. And because I have Thorium Reader, it's automatically opened that on my PC in Thorium Reader, and it's now available on my bookshelf. And it's just opened the book so I can start reading it immediately. Okay, so I just need to click on that to open it. And here is the title. Now this is available in EPUB. So we do have all the nice accessibility features in here. So I do, let's use my page turner to move through the title. And I do have some options for display and so on in the top right. So over here, we do have a full screen option. We also have our text features. So we can change things like our contrast, whether we like a paper style view, whether we like that night view, the contrast 3, 2, or 1. Really helpful for vision impairment, neutral, sepia, and so on. So you can select your option from there. I've got a paginated view, but we could also do scrollable if you prefer a scroll through the book rather than turning the page. We also have alignment options. So this is a default. We can justify the alignment or we can left hand the alignment. We can also set the default for columns or change it to one column or two columns. We also have some options down here to disable visual navigation indicators, disable any pop-up footnotes, reduce motion, and enable math jacks, and so on. We also have an option to customize our text formatting. So here, if I go to text, I can adjust my text size. Again, this is great for vision impairment, and it does go up to 400%. I can adjust the font. So if this font is not overly good for my eyes, I can change it. And we also support dyslexic font. Now, these features are really only available for EPUB. You might find that there are different features for a PDF version of an ebook. I can adjust things like my margin, the word spacing, the letter spacing, the paragraph spacing, and even the line spacing. And I can also save and apply these preferences as well. So lots of really nice little features available there. In the book icon, I can navigate the table of contents very quickly. I can navigate via landmark. I can search within, go to page, review any bookmarks or annotations that I might have saved. So next to that, you'll see I do have a bookmark icon, sorry, an annotation icon. So I'll highlight portion of the text. I'll click on annotate. I can select my color, whether I want to highlight, underline, strike through, or I could even add a tag. And then I'm going to go ahead and just save that. So this is now highlighted that. And from here, I could edit and add my own annotation in there. For annotations as well, you can download these or export them. Next to that, we also have a bookmark icon. So it's just going to bookmark that page for me. And here we have our search within. This also supports text-to-speech. So you just need to click the icon to open up the text-to-speech. And once that's open, you can click on the headset and you can navigate into your playback rate, the language support, the voice, and so on. Okay, now back over here, we have the information about the title. We can also see progression details down here as well. And then if we click on the books, we go back to our bookshelf. Once the loan has expired, I have 6 days remaining, it'll say loan expired, like this title here. Now, what that means is that I won't be able to open that book once a loan is expired. So I do recommend coming in and deleting it from your bookshelf. Another thing that you might also like to do if you ever need to return a title early, you can go to the About publication and there is an option to return. Now, I'm going to go back to the platform just for a moment to show you where the downloads appear. So once you've signed into MyEBSCO, you'll see an option called Holds and Checkouts, and this is related to eBooks, EBSCO eBooks specifically. So in the Checkout tab, we can see the title here, and we can see the checkout and when it will be checked out to. So if I was to return that using Thorium Reader, we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. So let's say I have a certain number of titles that I can read at one time. Maybe I need to free up some space. I can go ahead and return that publication. Okay, so that has been done. The loan is now expired. I'm no longer have it on loan. And if we just refresh the page in our holds and checkouts, I now have 0 checkouts available. So that is the offline download process for EBSCO eBooks. Now, the last part of our session is really focusing on accessing EBSCO eBooks on mobile devices. Now, EBSCO eBooks are mobile web compatible. Earlier in the session, I suggested if you would like to scan the QR code, you can sign into the demo site using your mobile device. So you'll notice in there that it does fit in format to your device, and you can read both PDF and EPUB titles quite easily using your phone or tablet. However, we do also provide a mobile app. So with the mobile app, we do recommend, if you're using this to browse, sign into MyEBSCO first. This is important if you're wanting your searches and any records that you've saved to sync for the desktop version. So for number one, we go down to the little person icon, we sign into MyEBSCO, follow the prompts. Then we're going to go ahead and search for a title. I'm searching for management in this example. Once we find a title of interest, we'll tap on the title name, and that will take us into the book record. And just like we saw in the desktop version, we can see the publisher permissions. One other thing that you'll notice here is a message saying, sorry, this title can only be accessed within our online viewer. So what this means is that we can't download the title within the app, but we can use the app to find the title and then to view the ebook. When I click on View eBook, it will open in the mobile web version, which I can then read. So this is the mobile viewer. And I've got the bookmark icon, the table of contents, the text-to-speech functionality, and we also have that tools menu where we can access, the share and that type of thing as well. What we also recommend that you do, if you're wanting to view or maybe download the book to read offline later, is just save the item. And as long as you're signed into MyEBSCO, next time you log into the desktop version, that title will be available in your saved items, and you can then view from there. That takes me to the end of our session today, so thank you very much for your time. If there are any questions about EBSCO eBooks, please let me know. There are some really useful help resources. I recommend the EBSCO eBook LibGuides, and I've also bookmarked the eBook Basics for you, which takes you into this page here where you've got access to tutorials, information about how to download titles, and so on. I've also provided some information about our LCP DRM or Thorium Reader for offline download. And of course, you can go to EBSCO Connect and search for additional support documentation. Thank you for watching.